Sounds right.
Snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking to do before 10 o'clock.
I'm here today with Nick Ford. Nick Ford and I used to work for the same hospitality company. Not going to name which one.
You worked for them?
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, front house.
Have we met before?
I met you once through, we were at, what's it called? The Wild Rose Party.
Like the Stampede one?
No, it was at Broken City.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you were hammered. And then you were with your wife.
On the rooftop.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that was Stampede.
So I met you there. But it was very brief. And then, because I know Jimmy. Your best friend.
Little Jimmy?
Little Jimmy, yeah.
Okay,
I worked with Little Jimmy. So, and then where else did I meet you? It was there. And then, Jimmy, for some reason, like, he always brought you up. So I always thought, like, I knew you.
Did you work at the Chinook then?
Yeah, Chinook.
Chinook?
Yeah. Sunridge, is it? I think you meant to say Sunridge. Or,
the mall.
The mall.
It was a malt shop. It was
yeah. Well, no, Jimmy may sound like you're his BFF with, like, like you guys have the same heart necklace and you guys have one
back
piece
in the
of
day, my first restaurant gig was at the Keg, and that's where I met him.
Yeah.
And then we worked at another restaurant, and then I brought him actually to the.
Oh, sweet! You can name places if you want. I just.
Oh yeah, we met at the Keg on McLeod.
Okay, sweet.
Worked at Caks Club together down the street.
Oh yeah.
Worked at Limericks together.
Oh yeah. Limericks is he made the menu, I think, for that.
No, he made some of the menu.
Okay.
But he was, I mean, he was there for a long time. I stayed for, 4 years. But I worked industry over him.
Nick and I, like I'm going into this one a little bit blind because, like I said, like I just know of Nick basically, but I'm getting to know him here, like live in the Kaks Bar podcast, and this is basically what we do. Everyone has a voice, everyone gets heard on this podcast. But right now, Nick, what have you been up to? Because I know you transitioned out of the hospitality industry, and then you said you went and became an armored guard.
Yeah. So
did you carry a gun?
16th, yes.
Oh yeah.
March 16th, 2020.
You have a gun on you right now?
The car.
Oh. Okay.
Is the day the world shut down.
Mm-hmm.
I shut down my restaurant that I was running.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks after that, the company stabbed me in the back, which I knew they were going to do because they did it 6 months prior to one of my best friends.
Yeah.
They did the same to me.
Yeah.
Asked my wife, who you met at that party, if I should try to get out of the industry, and that's what I did.
Okay. Do you find it was like you did better because of that, right? You're happier, obviously. I mean, it sounds like
I mean, you're still in it, but it's a crazy field to be in. I transitioned from back of house to front of house my last 3 years and was GMing. Mm-hmm. I was miserable.
Oh shit!
I guess if it was my own now, I'm sick of making money for other people.
Right,
I suppose.
Right. So, me too.
So it was time. Like, it was a perfect time to get out of an industry that at the time was completely shut down. Because there was no takeout yet. There was no plan.
Sorry, I missed the date. Is this pandemic or is this before pandemic?
This was pandemic.
Okay, right.
The day before St. Patty's Day is all the restaurants got shut down.
Hey, can you fill me in? Like you can answer this or not. I'm a master editor. I can put anything out of this. But was like this other place we know of? Like it burned down from what I understand, right?
Oh. Yeah. Oh well.
like burned down brutally, from what I understand.
Are we talking about the one that's in Kensington?
Beddington, wherever.
Yeah. People broke in. They broke in and basically tried to light the bar on fire. It wasn't like they were stealing anything, and I had shut down everything already. There was nothing in there to really take.
Yeah.
Unless they tried. They were just vandals, really. It didn't. I mean, they were going to rent out the place anyway. Mm-hmm. So, who really burned it down?
I guess they made the process easier or something.
Yeah, I don't know. The day I left and gave them my keys back is the day
You think that was
I stopped going anywhere near there.
You think that was like a construction move to be like, hey guys, like just to get some more money on insurance, let's like,
I mean, it depends on who you ask, but
because you just said, hey, they're going to reno anyway, so it's just so happens it also burned
the
down.
building, from what I've seen pictures of, looks very nice.
Yeah. I've been there. I've been there since. Yeah, it's nice. It's actually very nice in there. Yeah.
They did a lot of damage getting rid of me.
Mm-hmm.
I built the community pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
There's some loyalists down there.
Mm-hmm.
There's some bar and restaurant owners down there that stuck by me through the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I put a beer festival on down there.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to steal it this year and it failed.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who's to blame for that one.
All right. All right. I feel like we're in like a turf war or something, right?
Yeah, I don't like. I live so far away from that area.
Yeah, where do you live? If you
I live deep south,
deep south.
Yeah.
Okay, big suburb, deep south, or like acreage, deep south.
No. I'm still in the city. Like I'm down by the hospital, South Campus.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so like after you transitioned out of hospitality, you how'd you get into being an armored guard? You definitely looked the part, by the way.
Yeah,
you know?
I was a shooter already. Like it was a hobby of mine.
Oh, nice.
I picked up in Palm Springs.
Sweet.
So I had both my licenses, and it was on Indeed trying to find a job. We hired this company to deliver money to us at the restaurants.
Okay.
They were looking, so I applied. But with COVID, the school was shut down because you had to go to school and take gun classes for 10 days.
Even when you already have your licenses?
Yeah, you basically have to go through the trial of like
they put you
robbery scenarios, stuff like that.
So it's like they put you through a John Wick scenario, right? And you
100% that's what it is.
Oh,
it's
for real?
8 days of just
awesome.
shooting. You just shoot all day.
Oh, but are you moving around an obstacle course?
You got obstacles, targets,
awesome.
in the dark,
Awesome.
left-handed, right-handed, singles.
Jesus Christ, you're fucking John Wick. Sounds like
it's like tactical reloading. It was a really fun 8 days to get paid for.
Oh, dude, man, fuck, I love it, dude. I'm a it's a hot button topic, firearms and things like that. But I'm a fan. I'm a fan. If I was American, I'd be this damn it pro Second Amendment thing. Although there's obviously a lot of fucking issues with school shootings and everything. Like my heart does go out to those families, but at the end of the day, man, like I don't know. Still, the gun weapon, it's just such a fascinating machine, man.
And here's a lot of arguments happened during COVID because people were staying at home. The government positioned their gun mandates during COVID so that they couldn't get vetoed. So a lot of arguments happened.
Well, sorry, can you repeat that? What the government did? What? Sorry?
So Trudeau government pushed through their firearms ban.
Yeah.
During COVID, so it didn't actually go to vote. He stuck it in there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of arguments about it.
Can you educate me on that whole process? And also, like, just sum it up for me. Like right now, for dummies out there and like me, we can't have handguns anymore as Canadians, right?
Handguns are banned for I own handguns. I can go shoot them still.
Yeah.
You can't purchase them, transfer them to you. The main thing that he did the first time though was assault rifles in quotation, because Canada has a law that no rifle can hold more than 5 rounds. People don't know that.
I didn't know that.
There's no such thing as an assault rifle in Canada.
Okay.
You can't buy them. So think of like a hunting rifle, like your grandfather's hunting rifle that he'd go hunt a moose with.
My grandfather used chopsticks to hunt.
Perfect. Okay. So take the chopsticks and put like a tough exterior on the outside of that chopstick. Inside the chopstick, it's still a piece of wood.
Yeah.
The rifle, put some black airsoft material on the outside of it. Make it look tough.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Okay.
So it looks badass.
Yeah.
It looks evil. It's a hunting rifle with 5 rounds. It doesn't matter. It's semi-automatic.
Okay, so keep going. Keep educating me here. I'm learning. That's
well,
part of why
his whole thing was like assault rifles kill the most amount of people in the least amount of time. He says this over and over. It's not true. It's 5 rounds.
Okay.
So.
But you just said no. Most people don't know this. So
yeah. It's an argument that no one's going to win or lose. There's nothing I can say to you that's going to change your opinion on guns. I'm not here to change anyone's opinion on guns.
Yeah.
Canadian gun laws are very, very strict. The courses you have to take to be able to purchase them. We live in a country where hunting is prevalent.
Yeah.
So it was a huge debate, especially in Alberta.
Yeah.
A lot of people here are not fans of the Liberals.
Yeah.
I don't. And for the record, neither side. I don't care about either side.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Both drive me insane.
I do have some political guests coming down soon, so I'm going to save that day for that one.
100%. It's not worth getting into. I don't care. I did not vote.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where am I looking. I did not vote.
You got that scammer, and you got this one right here. Stop looking at Jeff's eyes.
They're so dreamy.
Nick's buddy vote. Jeff's here. He's just sitting on the sidelines observing. He's like his publicist. He's like, don't say this.
Yeah, except for I'm facing the wrong way. So
you can't even tell.
I can see him in the reflection. So if I see him give me you're getting us both in trouble. Then
He's like, you weren't listening to my instructions.
Yeah. So the gun thing was just whatever. I mean, but it was a hot topic during that time because people had nothing else to do. You're at home for 3 months.
Yeah.
People just argued online.
Yeah. Okay. So summarizing, we can't buy it anymore. But I guess I take it if you had it,
handguns you cannot buy right now.
But if you had it before, I guess you're still good. Kind of. Okay.
And even the assault rifles that he banned, there was a buyback program he was going to implement. They've curbed it. Everyone still has all their guns.
Okay.
The problem is if you're a hobby shooter, it's hard to transport these guns right now. Like the handguns especially. Like I have a permit that allows me to bring them to the range.
Okay, I'm getting confused here. How do you shoot it if you can't bring it to the range?
So you can't purchase, you can't transfer. I haven't brought them there since, but I'm 100% certain I can still go bring mine there. I could be wrong.
Okay.
Because I haven't done it since then.
If a guy like you's confused about the rules, then what's everyday people like me, right?
For my last job, I carried a gun all the time. I had to shoot every year a ton of rounds. And they're expensive to shoot.
Oh yeah.
Bullets are not cheap.
My brother Alan, he's a firearms owner. He has multiple firearms. He took me to the range. I loved it. I don't know. I got a thrill out of doing it and everything. I was trying to, get my own handguns and everything like that. But a little too late.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, they might reverse it
when we get when
you see what happens. So if they're banned right now, and if shootings still happen, which we know they will, it proves the legal gun owner's point that bad people will get firearms no matter what.
Yeah,
drugs have been banned forever.
And people are doing drugs.
I mean, I bet you if we point the camera that way for a couple of minutes, we'll find a couple of them.
Guys, man, this morning before I even got to work here, some of those drug junkies they end up sleeping underneath my car in my parkade, and then they press their butt cheeks against the wall and just defecated everywhere, and then wiped their ass with like one sheet of toilet paper, like fucking caked it on the wall.
That's Dirty Mike.
Yeah, no, I don't. Maybe. I mean, I love the other guys, but like Dirty Mike's cool. Whoever these guys are suck.
I worked downtown for the Armored Guard business the last 6 months. I was down here every night, and I was down here during when COVID hit too. So it was like it's gotten way worse.
Yeah,
and I have to deal with them all night because when it's cold out, where do they sleep? They sleep
under people's cars and
in the front of banks too.
Oh.
Like they get in there. I watched a guy. He was basically lighting his feet on fire to stay warm, and all I can do is call the dope team to come get him because I can't go help him. Like
he wasn't like screaming or anything.
No, he still had his boots on, but I mean I don't know what the next step was after that. Like you can see them all the time down by as you head towards Chinatown. There's a TD Bank there.
Yeah,
there's a bus stop right there, and that's where they hang out.
Oh my god, man, dude! Like my heart goes out to this situation. Like no one likes seeing this, but at the same time, I'm like, what a mess, Like it's
the people that you should feel bad for are the people that are in the drop-in center at a reasonable time that go to work still. They just can't afford to live in Calgary.
Yeah,
those are the ones I feel bad for. There's people, like I said, if we look around the alley right now, those people are choosing. I know it's an addiction, but you can't use drugs and go into the drop-in center, so they build all the tents outside. You'll see them all summer.
Okay.
Summertime,
I see those. Yeah, I didn't know about all this.
And the reason why they're outside is because they can't party and go into the center. It's like kind of one of the rules they have, I believe.
So it's like a
loophole. So they'll if it's cold, they'll allow in the front door area to warm up, and then they back out. They're like, if you want to stay in here, just don't do drugs because it's trying to be a safe environment. I mean, you got a whole bunch of.
But what's your opinion on their sanity? Because I feel like it's like after a while, some of these people on the streets, Man, crazy topic we're on. Thought we were going to talk about fun, happy
I
stuff.
can parlay this real quickly.
Yeah. But sorry, what was that? I didn't catch.
Oh, continue, and then I'll parlay it to something.
Oh, okay.
From the same story, almost.
Okay, yeah. I'm just joking. We talk about anything. That's what Kaks Bar and Podcast is about: authentic conversations, just like the way you would in a bar. If the camera wasn't here. But what I was going to say was like I've noticed a lot of them now. They're insane. Like they've lost their mind.
Yeah.
So that's that's another part of like why I feel bad because I'm like, well, how are you even going to begin to make a decision to turn your life around when you're basically insane now? Like, they're just like spinning in circles, yelling into the sky, and I'm just like, I'm like, whoa, like this is. I don't even like. They're not even there, you know.
It's basically sleep deprivation because they spend all day walking and they're doing drugs that keep you awake for days. So by day 2 or 3 of them just milling around, you start going insane. Yeah.
Okay. So now you parlay it into Pokemon or something.
Well, I used to tour with a band. I used to sell merchandise for a couple punk bands, and we'd be on the road for months at a time.
Were you in the band, or
I just sold merchandise for them? But they were just friends of mine, and I had really nowhere to live in Calgary at the time. I was born and raised here, but I was just didn't have a place, so I'd always be on the road touring.
Yeah.
And after 4 months at a time, you start going crazy too because you're sleeping in random places. You're not getting good sleep. You're not eating well, and you go crazy.
Yeah, just being in a van, I guess you're right because you're never really relaxed. You know, not like the way you'd be in your own nice cozy home. You know,
6 of you.
Yeah.
And you got all the gear.
Yeah.
And you got all the merchandise. And you're in a van, and we went across Canada and 48 states, I believe, that tour.
Holy shit!
It was a long time.
Which band was this? Are they popular?
Depends on what your definition of popular is.
I don't know. Just name them. See if I heard of them.
They're a band called Belvedere. They're from Calgary.
Okay. Wait a minute. Isn't that a vodka, bro?
Yeah, somewhere. I believe so. I went to high school with the singer and a couple. I went to high school with most of them. Band was named after a TV show in the 80s called Mr. Belvedere.
Okay.
He was an English butler. We're old. Like I'm 45 this year. So.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow, you look good, man. No, for real. I thought you were in 30s, for real.
No. So it's an old 80s sitcom where they got the idea. And at the time when we did that tour, second record wasn't even out yet. So we were going through the States, sleeping on promoters' floors, parents' houses were letting us in because we had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
I think
you're living the lifestyle.
Yeah, we each got $1 US a day.
$1 US a day.
That's what we got. Yeah.
What do you do with that for food?
Yeah,
4 sour soothers, maybe.
Yeah, me and the guitar player would pool our money, so we'd buy a loaf of bread.
Pool $2.
Yeah, so a loaf of bread we could get would feed us for 2 days. You go to like a McDonald's or an Arby's and you get like sauce packets and you put that on the bread.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Or if you're at a parent's house and they have a nicely stocked pantry, you could usually get like a can of corn or something that you knew they weren't going to miss.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you guys all like emaciated? Or?
We started the tour in Vancouver with another friend of ours band, and that friend of ours band met us in California 3.5 months later, and they didn't even recognize us. They said we looked like zombies.
Jesus. And you guys you guys were partying too, I take it?
No money, right? So we would share a 40, me and the same guy that we'd share the loaf of bread. Every couple of days you get a 40. Yeah.
You guys didn't make any money off the shows
No, because no one knew who they were. That's how you start, right? They hadn't been in the U.S. I don't know if I can get this quote proper, but I don't think they've been down there since that tour. And that was early 2000s. The band is
still around.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean,
let's support them. Belvedere. Oh, wait, they're doing well now, right? Now they're in mansions.
The band has changed a bit. The band is still together.
Yeah,
I think their 7th record is out now.
Okay,
they've been around the world. They were one of the first punk bands to ever play in Colombia, Medellin. Hugely popular in South America. Yeah. Japan goes crazy for punk rock, especially Canadian punk rock. They do really well over there. They're in Europe. I think they were in Europe all last summer, redoing the shows that they had to cancel because of COVID.
Man, yeah, I do like punk music, but sometimes I get confused with what the genre is because like originally I guess punk music was OG Red Hot Chili Peppers and like Black Flag, and like that was the category of punk. But then next, you know, it like because I like Blink-182, but is that punk or is that
for sure
punk rock?
I watched their Coachella set and I was excited for it.
Yeah,
because Tom's back in the band. That's just pop punk. But punk should have a definition. Punk's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
I think most punk kids would say that it's doing everything yourself. That DIY attitude.
DIY or
DIY, do it yourself.
Do it yourself
is saying they've been using. Since the dawn of time, I think. You go back to Sex Pistols over in England and stuff. It's all like, damn the man kind of stuff. Do your own thing. Okay. Rebellion against the system.
Yeah.
So it's more of a lifestyle. So it's hard to put, like there's skate punk, there's hardcore punk, there's post-hardcore punk.
Yeah, like, because I definitely like punk music. Like, I listen to it a lot. In fact, I was listening this morning. And like, so yeah, but I just I get confused with like, because sometimes some people are like, would you consider yourself punk? I'm like, well, no, but at the same time, maybe. Like, I don't know. Like, I like what I like, you know.
You're opening this place.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I went to Papa Roach's concert last month, but is that punk rock technically, or
no? It's like, just live music. Like that's
wife, metal, right?
Like, is it though? Is this rock and roll?
Is it rock? I like it though. I fucking like because some of it's rap metal, like Limp Bizkit, kind of like old school Limp Bizkit.
Their first thing, that's how they got popular. I thought was like that rap metal Bizkit stuff, and that Limp Bizkit Significant Other record's fantastic. Yeah,
I fucking love that. Love that record, man.
So I mean, music's music. I listen to everything. My wife is a country fan.
Okay.
I've taken her to country shows. I've taken her to see concerts. I took her to Tool. I've taken her to Prince, Pearl Jam.
I think Luke Combs is here Saturday, I think, or something.
Edmonton. I had to sell my tickets. I had tickets for us. I bought them a year ago. Sold them, by the way. It was great. We bought them last year. She got pregnant in January.
Oh, okay.
I don't think she would have a great time sitting in Commonwealth Stadium with a bunch of people getting hammered and partying.
Yeah.
So I just said, look, if we'll see if we can sell the tickets, and
you sold them.
I did.
Sweet.
It was getting real close, but
you got your wife pregnant a year ago, you said? So
January. So he's due in September.
Oh shit. Okay. Is this your first kid or a second?
No, first with her.
First with her. Oh,
I have a 16-year-old as well.
Oh,
that was way before I even met my wife. The kids due end of September. I'm in San Francisco for a NoFX Lagwagon show like a week before, so hopefully the kid stays in there so I can go to this show.
That's what you're more concerned about, getting to this show.
Well, the rule is if she calls me and she's in labor, I have to fly home, and that's totally understandable.
Yeah.
If I'm in the middle of...
I love it, man. I love that you still have your own life.
If I'm in the middle of the NoFX show and it's a free beer festival at the same time...
Your kid needs to understand or something.
Just hang on, little buddy. I'll be home in a day.
Is your 16-year-old a boy, girl, or...
Boy.
Boy, okay.
I didn't meet him till he was 14.
Oh, what? Oh, you have one of those situations. Okay,
yeah, it all worked out well, though. Like, he's into the same music. He's actually going to be at the same NoFX show. I guess his mom's taking him down there.
Oh, sweet. So, awesome, man.
Yeah. I got him a job at State, Maine.
Oh, sweet. State and what? Anyway.
Yeah, that's where he works.
Quick question. I mean, not to get too personal here. What do you mean you didn't meet him until he's 14? Like, you didn't even know? Like, it was one of those,
No, I knew about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean...
Tell me to shut up, by the way.
No, when you're younger, things happen. Mm-hmm. Just didn't work out. She moved away and carried on with life. Okay. And then they had a family together, and she reached out one day because her husband wanted to adopt him, and I was totally fine. That's the only thing he knew.
Yeah.
And then a couple years later, I wrote him a letter just to explain things, sort of. Vaguely, and he reached back out, and we met and got along great.
Thanks for sharing all this, by the way.
No, it's fine. Yeah, we got along great. Mm-hmm. He's just an easy kid to get along with. I mean, so yeah, we just more like buddies now. Obviously, he's 16. He's learned a lot from his mom and his dad that raised him. So yeah, it's good.
Oh man, dude, I love that. I love hearing that. That there wasn't, you made it work, and it wasn't like this.
You never know. You never know, but you got to try.
Yeah, you do got to try. Recently, I mean, I don't even know how legit this is, but do you listen to Joe Rogan at all? or
Ever since you went to Spotify, no, because
No, really?
I don't want to pay for Spotify.
Spotify's awesome. Kaks Bar and Podcast is on Spotify.
Yeah, I have Apple Music. I'm an Apple guy.
We're on Apple as well.
There you go.
Yeah.
But once Rogan went exclusively Spotify, I can't listen anymore. I catch clips on TikTok.
Yeah, and YouTube and
yeah.
I don't know. I think you should. It's worth it. I love Joe Rogan. It's a big inspiration why I'm
How
doing
many
this.
streaming services do I have to pay for?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. South Park made fun of that, by the way.
Like Apple Music, Amazon Prime.
These are the ones
Amazon
we're using.
Prime Music.
Yeah, no, I get you, and like I agree. Like that's why, like me and my partner, me and Cass, were sorting out what platforms we want to get on. I'm like, we're doing those 5, and that's it, because there's just so many out there. Like, and after a while, they all do the same thing. So
And those are the ones you want to be on.
YouTube, TikTok. Well, hopefully they're saying they want to ban TikTok, but at this point,
Yeah.
I'm just like, TikTok's awesome, man. Yeah, they spy on you, but I'm like, I don't know, unless you're a pedophile, unless you're a pedophile, like who cares,
China
like
doesn't
we're
care
all
what
human.
you're doing at the bar right now.
No, and we're all humans. Like, oh my god, like so and so watches whatever. It's like, okay, is it legal? No, okay, he watches that. Like, and then like, what do you do all day? Like, that's
or are you creeping on the dark web? Then
yeah.
whatever.
If that's it, then okay, then you fucking use a VPN or I don't know.
My
Like,
TikTok algorithm's basically just bulldogs.
sick.
That's all it is.
Yeah, mine's weird and boring now. It's like teeth shit. I don't even know how it time. I'm not even. I was telling the last podcast, just kind of turned into that off. Because sometimes I'll smoke weed and then I already told the story.
Look at teeth videos.
Yeah, it just mesmerizes me, especially the more baked you are. You're like, oh, like fucking this root canal, and then next, and it's like that. Now it just keeps showing up. I'm like,
Yeah,
hey,
I don't even know how to get rid of this.
yeah, I gotta consciously look at other stuff now to get off that. I don't know. I lost my. I was talking about Joe Rogan because recently, like Joe. He was on, Joe, because Joe's dad split from his biological mom when he was a kid. And then, there's a bit of a backstory there. But now it's like years later and his dad's like on TikTok making videos to be like, I never abandoned you and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, he's
and
like, Joe's worth a bunch of money.
Yeah, and then now he's like, he has that whole family. Like his dad has that whole like other family of grown kids that are close to Joe's age. And then they're trying to like, clearly slander Joe's reputation to be like,
sure.
It was your mother, she stole you from me. And at this point I'm like, why are you airing this out in public unless you're trying to get money? You know, like
when Joe signs a contract for $98 million a year, whatever his Spotify contract
100 million.
is.
close,
a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, his cousin's Gerard Way.
I know, hey. My Chemical
Romance.
Yeah. Fuck, what a small world for that.
And they've never met, so
yeah,
that's how tight the family is.
Just going off, that example it was just that kind of stuff because kind of like breaks my heart a bit right here, but it's cool that
sometimes it works out.
Yeah,
sometimes it doesn't.
Good. That's good. What were we on before we segued into your like insane personal life? I got all therapist.
We were talking about punk rock, and
okay.
how my kid's coming up, and I'm going to their show in San Francisco.
Okay. Sweet.
It's kind of how that all started.
Okay, but right now, what's going on in your life now? You were in firearms, and now you switch careers again, right?
I was an armed guard until like a month ago. Great job, but I was working 7 p.m. to 5 a.m.
7 p.m. 5 a.m. That's a weird
time.
My wife
works days, so I would see her like Saturdays, roughly. That was it.
Yeah.
And the management that run that company is mind-blowingly awful. Mm-hmm. And I was just getting frustrated and angry.
What do you mean by mind-blowingly awful?
Yeah.
I don't know. So these are people who are supposed to be fucking running money through.
This is why I want to do another podcast about just that company.
Sorry, I'm looking at
not
Jeff,
that company, but I think both.
Is he okay talking about it?
both those companies are terrible at it. The employees are incredible. If it wasn't for the employees, the companies would make no money.
Okay.
The people that run them have no people skills. They have no idea how to run a company. They don't know how to treat staff properly.
Okay. So it was just a toxic work environment. Sounds like.
Yeah, and you're only in that toxic environment face to face, like maybe 2 hours a day. The rest of the time, you're just you and your partner on the road. Yeah. Job is great.
Okay, so the actual operations though are still efficient, right? Because I don't want people getting ideas here.
Yeah, no. I mean,
they're like, oh, the guard industry is horrible. Like, let's get after it.
No, because the crews are all pretty proficient. They know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. They'll know how to protect themselves, and they do the job properly.
All right.
It's their superiors that I butted heads with a ton. I don't do well with authority. And
punk rock lifestyle.
Yeah. And if you're really bad at your job and managing us, I have a problem with that.
Yeah. So you don't like to be, you don't want to deal with an incompetent boss that you wouldn't, that you don't think could have done what you do.
They 100% cannot. So I needed to get out. I was at a Super Bowl party at State in Maine in Mahogany.
I guess we're just tossing the restaurant that we're at now. State in Maine, people.
Yeah, we were a guy that started this Facebook group. That's basically the dads of Mahogany in Auburn Bay. It's a great group. A lot of barbecue chat on there and stuff, but they rented out the whole place for a Super Bowl party.
Yeah.
So I went there for that, and I ended up meeting the owner of House of Cards.
Okay.
And we just chatted over many cocktails, and then he called me up one day and asked if I wanted to go to some Muay Thai fights because I love mixed martial arts.
Oh, fuck. You love mixed martial arts?
Yeah,
I love mixed martial arts. Love it. Why don't you open up with that?
We didn't. We just were spitballing.
Okay, yeah. Now we got to talk longer.
So we went
I've enjoyed talking to you anyways.
We went to Muay Thai World Cup is like an organization, and they have a tournament going on right now, which is the Road to One. I think it's still going on.
Sick.
The winner gets 250 grand and gets to go fight in One FC.
Yeah.
So he was House of Cards was a sponsor for the event. So
okay. What's the guy's name that you were talking to? That House of Cards is a sponsor.
Sponsors, they were sponsoring the Muay Thai World Cup.
Okay. Sorry.
So they had VIP
cider all of a sudden, just like 2 seconds. Like,
they had a VIP table, a couple VIP tables.
Sick.
So we went to that.
Fuck yeah.
And we were just shooting the shit. I told him I hate my bosses, and he's like, "Why don't you come sell cars?" Mm-hmm. So I thought about it, talked to the wife, and she's like, well, "What do you got to lose?" So I quit, and I went to sell cars.
Okay, sweet.
And I don't know anything about cars.
Oh, really?
Nothing.
But you seem so proficient in mechanical.
I can
use a gun. You've traveled in a van across.
I can talk and learn.
Okay.
So I've been in customer service my whole life.
Okay.
Selling cars is the exact same thing.
Sweet. You good at it right now, or?
It's only been the first month, but I did pretty well.
Okay, sweet. Cass, my business partner, he took a shot at selling cars for a bit there, and wasn't his thing after. He's like, you know what, he called me up and he's like, let's do this. I'm like, okay.
It's like nothing I've ever done. It's a grind, but it's like a mental grind. I've done physical work my whole life. I've done stressful jobs. All the guys that I started working with are like, it's stressful. I'm like, no, it's not going to be stressful, but it is. It's mentally taxing at times because if you don't. Your life, it might be on the line. If you don't sell something, then you don't make money, right?
What was that movie that came out recently with? It was about armored guards. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
What was that called? Fuck, it's messing with me now. It was good. It was really good.
He was a crime boss.
Well, Clint Eastwood's son was in it. Scott Eastwood. Do you know what I'm talking about?
So there was an armored car one where he was a mob leader, and his kid gets killed. So then he becomes an armored guard, so he can go find out who's Wrath of Man.
That's it. Yeah. Scott Eastwood was the bad guy.
Yeah.
But who's the protatigist again?
Jason
Statham.
So I watched that. My wife wouldn't watch it with me because she's like, I don't want to know what you do. It's funny because if you watch that movie, I watched it a little differently. Like I was looking at their trucks and stuff.
Yeah, their actual procedure.
Just to see what their trucks look like. And their trucks are pieces of shit in that too.
Okay.
The armored car trucks are trash.
Okay.
They'll stop a bullet, and you're not going to be able to get in.
Yeah,
but inside,
are they supposed to be different from that? Sorry, like they're supposed.
Well, no, it's just you'd think like a company that makes billions of dollars would have an upkeep of a truck. Like if it rains at night, that rain just pours on you.
Huh. Yeah. Why do they never have doors?
Well, then how are you going to? They have doors on the side. Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah. There's no side doors.
Yeah. There's no side door though.
No.
Yeah. But what's the point of that? Like,
what you can get in.
Okay, but what if you need to wait.
If we crash?
No, wait, no. Hold on. I don't know what's going on in my brain right now. There's no doors in the side of an armored truck, right?
There is.
There is? Okay, what am I confusing that with?
Passenger side.
Okay.
There's a door in the middle. Not in the front cab area, but like further back. There'll be a side door.
I thought it was almost like a UPS car for some reason. Am I mixing things up? What the fuck?
It's not anywhere near UPS.
Okay. Well, what? Sorry, people. What was in this?
The newer ones kind of look like an ambulance.
What was that? What the fuck was I thinking?
Amazon, those Amazon vans you see around. Mm-hmm. The newer ones look like that.
Okay.
The old school ones, though, there's a door on the side. Yeah.
Okay. So, but in Wrath of Man, you said that like for whatever reasons,
I was just literally looking at the seats, looking at the state of the inside of the truck, and they were shitty too.
Could it be that they just ran out of budget for filming?
What I believe happened is they just borrowed someone's armored cars.
Oh, really? Okay.
And that's just how crappy they are.
Oh, jeez.
They're garbage inside.
Okay. Scott Eastwood's like, I'm going to need this much to play this role. They're like, guess we're borrowing someone's car.
Yeah. I know movies have rented the trucks before, just because where else are you going to get them?
Right. Okay, sweet. Okay, well, so for now, you're supporting yourself selling cars, and well, hey, dude, obviously, I wish you all the luck in that. It is when people are good at it, they're good at it. They make a lot of money, and then the people who aren't good at it, it's a bit of a struggle. Like that's what I've noticed.
There's more upside than downside.
Okay,
what I've found, and it's they told me the first day you get out of it what you put into it.
Yeah,
I work 10, 11 hours a day. It's my day off today. The first thing I did when I got up this morning was I still made phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
I keep track of people. You got it.
I can relate to those long hours now, because Cass and I were like doing everything. So this place was a bare room before. So I mean, and we're learning as we go. When I first started podcasting, I didn't know how to do any of this. I had to learn all that.
So now podcasting and trying to open a restaurant, which is one of the hardest things to do.
Yeah, we're busy. Yeah. We're busy. Like sleep is basically non-existent now. Yeah. Hey, I want to get some mixed martial arts talk then. What are you? You Conor McGregor guy?
Huge McGregor guy.
Fuck yeah. I love McGregor.
I started watching it. UFC 1 had come out, and there was rumblings around school that you can go to like Blockbuster and rent a videotape that was just no holds barred fighting in a cage. And that's how we found out about it. So I remember UFC 2, I think, is when we first started paying for the closed
pay-per-views, in that old brown box thing. Yeah, I remember. I was doing the same. I wasn't paying for it. My folks may or may not have had a
big dish.
It was a small box, but it was from Chinatown, and it was some kind of counterfeited. Anyway, they whatever they were able to watch movies, and I was able to watch movies I definitely should not have been watching when I was a fucking kid, like Billy Madison. No,
that's what it was, right?
Yeah. Well, kind of actually. Like that's not a movie for kids. Man. I remember laughing so hard though at that, like just crying, slapping my legs, laughing.
My grandfather used to have like the big old satellite dish in the backyard, and they would like use these computers to burn these chips, and you'd put the chips in it, you'd get signals. You'd have to do it once a month because satellite companies would send scramble signals out.
Okay.
To destroy the code reader, basically. So we used to steal like old like WCW stuff, old Ric Flair Sting matches and stuff like that. And that's
you're a wrestling guy as well?
Huge, yeah.
Oh,
but that's how we watched Pride. So I was watching Rampage and stuff way before.
How come Jimmy never told me that you like all this stuff? Because I would have been like, "Go away, Jimmy. Let me talk." Well,
because Jimmy doesn't go out, so Jimmy lives like 5 minutes from my house.
Jimmy, you ruined a lot of good years for me. I could have been talking to Nick.
I haven't seen him in person in 3 years
because of COVID and everything, and life.
Yeah, he's a shut-in. He likes his wife and his kid, and that's
loves his Star Wars. He loves his Star Wars. Yeah, I do too, but he really loves Star Wars.
Yeah, it's just you kind of just drift apart. I still talk to him every now and then, but
okay, back to some. Okay, fuck man. Back to some or wrestling. Actually, just get to know you, just because like I had on another guest recently. His name's G. G was a pro fighter. Anyway, like we end up having all the same hobbies, but like on the opposite spectrum of every hobby, because he'd be like, "Oh, you love MMA?" I'm like, "Yeah," and then he's like, "I hate Dana White," and I'm like, "I fucking love Dana White." He's like, "Oh," and then just every person we listed, we actually like the opposite.
Yeah.
But I just want to do this little experiment with you, okay? But where we know we're pro McGregor, Ric Flair in wrestling, like yay or nay?
Oh yeah, I love Flair.
Fuck yeah! I love Ric Flair.
Ric Flair and like Ricky Steamboat had like some of the nice matches you'll ever see.
Yeah. All right, fuck man, yeah, dude.
Like growing up we would go to Stampede Wrestling on Friday nights down at the Pavilion.
Yeah.
So when I was going there, Bad News Allen was still there. Owen Hart was the North American champ. Brian Pillman was tag teaming.
Dynamite Kid there?
Dynamite Kid was already gone.
Damn. That guy was good.
But we were there every Friday night, and then it would air Saturday morning just before WWF was on. Mm-hmm. So Saturday morning, you get up, you'd watch the taping of the Stampede Wrestling you were at.
See yourself on TV.
Yeah. It was all smoky.
Yeah.
because you could smoke then and there.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So
yeah.
it was a lot of drunk people and cigarette smoke,
Mhm.
but that's all we did growing up. And then we'd watch Hogan and Steamboat and all those guys. Junkyard Dog. Like WrestleMania 3 was like the big one for us.
Yeah. Well, that was the one where Hogan slammed Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
91,000 people.
Oh, fucking crazy. Yeah. Well, who's your favorite wrestler?
Of all time?
Yeah.
I mean,
who's your favorite, and who do you actually think is the best? And maybe, like for me, I have the same guy, but
you're like a Shawn Michaels guy.
yeah, like this guy, like it reads me like a
Hulk Hogan changed wrestling for me.
Yeah.
Bret Hart, I loved the whole time. I'm a CM Punk guy. I know he's kind of a
that's the only guy
whatever.
I never got into CM Punk. After I watched him actually try to fight in MMA, that was atrocious, man.
Terrible. But now he's back in wrestling again where he belongs.
Yeah, I just don't know how you can train like as much as he did under Duke Rufus and still perform like that.
When you've been faking your punches your whole life, it's hard to start learning how to punch properly because you have to punch differently, right?
Brock was able to figure it out. And who else was a WWE guy?
But Brock was like at least a collegiate wrestler with an incredible collegiate background. Like CM Punk, his whole life has been a professional wrestler.
Yeah, and I get what you're saying. And CM Punk also is your everyday guy that took his work ethic to the limit to make himself like
huge punk rock guy.
Yeah,
Rancid, like him and Rancid are like best friends.
Man, I just don't understand when I watched him fight his MMA fight, like not the Mickey Gall ones when he fought Mike Jackson. I know the guy's name's Mike Jackson, but like he still didn't plant his feet. Like that's the first thing he learned to throw a punch, right? You transfer the weight from your feet up to your hand. He's just like throwing it just all hand in the air. And I'm like,
I think once you get in there, you realize that like, I don't want to do this.
Did you train? Like,
no.
Like I used to train a bunch and I never fought pro, but like I sparred a bunch. But I mean, I was just thinking, I was like, you might have, this look to me, okay, I could be wrong. I mean, I didn't do enough research, but it looked to me like he doesn't really spar or something because he was so scared to get hit too.
I honestly don't think he cared at all. I think he was just like, because he'd been out of wrestling for so long, he liked to train no matter what. And he always kind of wanted to do MMA. He was way too old to do it at that point.
He was, especially like as being as natural as he is. Like,
but he was on 2 pay-per-views. He got paid a little bit of money.
Yeah, but he got beat up both times.
Did he get? I mean,
he didn't
get hurt too bad.
He got beat up.
He turtled. He got beat up in the fight, but he kind of just covered his head and laid there until they stopped the fight. He got choked?
Didn't Mickey Gall just? Yeah, Mickey Gall like strangled him. Like
he got choked pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just disappointed. I was just disappointed when I saw it because like he trained for almost a year and a half, and the UFC just let him like put all their resources because they wanted to get that fan base he had, and he showed up like
for striking.
Yeah, that's why I was like, Duke, like. I would imagine if I was his coach, I would be, I don't know, I'd just be like, I feel like you wasted my time, you know, like how is it this horrible?
He drove like from Chicago to Rufus Sport every day, like he was dedicated, but
just couldn't connect the dots.
He makes more money in pro wrestling, right? Like he's been in the news nonstop since he got kicked out of pro wrestling again, and now he's coming back. So.
I should stop harping on CM Punk. At least he fought, right? I mean, like I never fought pro, so it's like at least he fought.
Do you watch AEW at all?
Not as much, just because I don't know. Like I do like Kenny Omega. Is he over there right now? Still?
Yeah, I was gonna say if you don't watch Kenny Omega, then you're missing out on
Kenny
really
Omega's
good wrestling.
Kenny Omega's the fucking man. He never went to WWE, right? Like
he tried out in NXT.
Oh, did he
got cut?
What?
Yeah, and then he went to New Japan and became
the
Kenny Omega.
Man, Yeah, no, we're just geeking on wrestling. I did this with 2 guests ago, with my guest G as well. But like him and AJ Styles, and then like they just remind me of like, you got him, AJ Styles, like if Dynamite Kid was together, like I could just picture those guys. That would be the most insane.
It's funny because they were all in the Bullet Club.
Well, Dynamite Kid wasn't.
Dynamite wasn't, but so AJ was the leader of Bullet Club. Kenny was the leader of Bullet Club. Finn Balor started Bullet Club.
Yeah.
And then Switchblade, what's his name? Jay White was the leader of Bullet Club, and he just came over to AEW now. So like Bullet Club's been building.
AEW though, they didn't Cody Rhodes didn't he basically help make that, and then he
was an owner.
Yeah, but he had some serious beef with everyone after the management. Right? Is that what happened? Like
he was an executive producer, but he couldn't do anything else to help the company. Mm-hmm. And he built a big enough platform in New Japan and with AEW to get the fans back on his side because he was Stardust and it was terrible.
Yeah.
Now he got to be himself. WWE paid to bring his own ring music in, like all the stuff he had in New Japan AEW, WWE bought to bring over.
Yeah, I love his I love that he kept that almost anime kind of gimmick, kind of like because he almost has like a I don't know, he has like a Castlevania kind of look, you know, like
the
vampire.
Japanese love
like,
that stuff, right?
Oh,
so like,
yeah.
if you go to Japan, even if you watch like old Hulk Hogan matches in New Japan,
Yeah,
he wrestled way different.
Yeah,
and he was an incredible wrestler in New Japan.
Was he incredible?
Yeah, like if you go back to look at the old, like when Hogan was training over there, like he was doing actual wrestling moves, not just like
he has like 5 moves.
Yeah,
in the
but he had
WWE.
tons over there. Like you can go on YouTube. I saw one just recently, and he was doing like arm drags and all this other stuff you never saw him do.
Actually, I think I saw him and Brett actually do a technical wrestling segment once in WCW. And I'm like, holy shit, Hogan actually is an athlete.
I don't know about that. Like Brett could probably get Bucky through a match, no problem. Yeah, I mean, Hogan carried Ultimate Warrior in WrestleMania 6.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty rough day for Warrior when Hogan's carrying you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And you remind me of that shitty match that him and Warrior had again in WCW.
Terrible.
Like, you know, the one where he tried to throw the smoke, whatever. What was it? Was it a fucking flash? Yeah, but it was so mistimed, and then they both acted like, "Oh, you got me in the eye." And then
you got to stop throwing
like,
fireballs in wrestling. It never works. Man. I've never seen it work once.
Yeah, but Hogan, I have a soft spot for him just because of like when I was a kid, he was the man. Like, my memory was
he was the biggest athlete in the world.
He to me was just like that's the general, like you know, because he just walked in with such the presence, but as you get older, you're like, man, this guy is not actually good at this.
No, but that's what Vince did. He made larger than life characters back then, and once you start learning about wrestling, is when you start changing who your favorites are.
Do you ever go to RCW matches? Do you know about that?
No, I always tried to, but with my old job, I couldn't.
Right.
Now that I have nights free. Start trying to go more.
I had Cody Mack on this podcast. So he's a wrestler from Calgary. His gimmick's called crude oil. So he comes in like an oil rig worker, and he wears the hard hat, the oil rig overalls, but obviously sleeves cut off. But he's yoked, right?
Yeah.
Like he's Cody's about 6'1", probably 220, but he's in shape, long hair. Like I'll show you after. He's a cool guy. I'm trying to get him on again, but he wrestles so much. Like he's been doing it for a while. His goal is to get into the WWE. But
next time you see him, or get Lance Storm on here because Lance Storm's wrestling school is here. So I've had
that's where Cody got his training from, and a couple other academies. Sorry, Cody, if I can't remember all the other academies.
Lance is a good wrestler. I liked him. I've been trying as a bucket list for 15 years now. For my birthday, I've always wanted to rent a wrestling ring because I've never been in one.
Yeah, actually,
I want to bounce off the ropes and drop an elbow.
They're all a little different. It depends because
WWE uses ropes and everyone else uses elevator cable.
Oh, is that? Because I saw them. If you go to the RCW matches, they assemble and unassemble the ring in front of you after the match because it's just in front of a small crowd. But what I saw was it was just a steel frame, and then they just put cardboard like on top of each other at different angles to create the ring. Then they put a mat on top.
Yeah, it's not much.
Yeah, it's not much. So you're actually taking bumps.
Yeah,
but
it's not supposed to feel good. But I want to bounce off those ropes. But the thing with I've run into trouble with is wrestlers and wrestling schools that own the ring.
Yeah,
it's like it's sacred to them. So if you watch a lot of wrestlers when they get in the ring, they'll wipe their feet before they get in. That's a sign of respect for the ring itself.
Okay, they
think I'm just going to go in there and
drink beer,
fuck it up, and just disrespect what they do, and that's not what I want to do. It's going to happen. But, I just want to bounce around in there. So I've been trying. I think 3 years ago, I put really hard effort into getting one, and I just couldn't pull it off. This guy said he'd train us for a day in Edmonton. I'm like, I don't want to get beat up for a day. Wow.
Well, I've never done a pro wrestling match. But if you get this ring, we should do a match and wing it.
100%. That's all I want to do. So
we're so horrible at it.
I don't care. It's so much fun. If you can get the guy to convince him to let us have the ring.
What would your finishing move be for our theoretical match? And what would your gimmick be?
Nowadays, I have
Would you be a car salesman because your name's Nick Ford? And you sell Ford trucks?
You'd have to go 80s wrestling gimmicks when it was the Repo Man and
the IRS. That was the funniest one. When he came in and he would interrupt Flair and Hogan's segments, like, you guys stop your matches. No one here paid their taxes.
Erwin R. Shyster was his name.
Yeah,
and his son is Bray Wyatt.
Oh, Bray Wyatt's Erwin R. Shyster's son?
Bray and
no way.
Bo Dallas are his kids. Yeah.
I don't know who Bo Dallas is.
Bo Dallas is Bray's brother. So when
Oh, okay.
Bray was coming back recently, he was playing Uncle Howdy.
Okay.
But they scrapped it all right now. I don't know what's happening.
Huh. I didn't know that was IRS's son. That's fucking cool. Yeah. Bray's fucking way bigger than IRS.
IRS was big. He was just surrounded by giants. But
yeah, I guess.
But yeah, what's his name? Wyndham. He's a big dude.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, but anyway, yeah. What would your gimmick be? What would your
I don't
finisher
know.
be?
I don't know at this point. I got what? So I got a year, little under a year. We get this ring together in April. My birthday's in April. We'll do a match.
Okay, are you a wrestling trunks G-string guy or like
No,
a tights guy?
I'll have to wear the pants.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Like I don't know what it is. Like, I mean, I understood wrestling. I get you're supposed to because it pops, right? Wearing the trunks, it like pops in the visuals versus wearing pants. I don't know what it is. Like, that's what I notice anyway. Like, I get more drawn when I see.
I don't know
like
why
the
they
trunks.
wore them. It was ridiculous. I think the whole time was ridiculous.
Stone Cold looked proper with the trunks versus when he wears jean shorts, you know. But I don't know because ever since Brock Lesnar came back, he wears the MMA shorts. Like I'm like, dude, you look more like a because like when you wear the trunks, you seem like a superhero. Like
he
actually
had
seem
to.
like superheroes.
I think when he came back because WWE let him have sponsors on his trunks. So like Jack Links was still sponsoring when he
that
came
was
back.
his actual MMA trunks.
I know,
Yeah.
but they allowed it, which was crazy for Vince to do. But I guess they're pretty good friends, and whatever Brock wants to do, Brock can do.
Hey Nick, actually, like I got to wind this down right now because we're about to do our soft open today.
I know.
Yeah,
I saw it. That's why I was like, let's get in there before.
Yeah. We did an hour so far. So, dude, but there's no time limits. It's just, but today I just kind of we have a couple more things I got to run around.
We're just feeling the waters.
Yeah. Well, fuck no. You're coming on again.
Yeah. We haven't even broke the ice yet.
We haven't broke any ice. I feel like now again. Like it was like. Had I known you were into everything that I was into, this would have been a whole different. Like I know I still enjoyed the beginning conversation.
Well, but now we know.
Yeah, now we know. Next time we just dive right into those topics. But right now, hey, Nick, do you want to plug anything, or I mean, you work for House of Cars, right?
House of Cars.
Okay, so guys, if you're looking for a car, I mean, Nick works at House of Cars. Which
House
location?
Or do they
52nd?
So Glenmore 52nd, across the street from Big Rock.
Mm-hmm.
And $500 referral fee. So anyone you send to me, you get $500 per time.
Oh, perfect. Mass referral right now. Okay, Nick Ford down House of Cars in 52nd, and
I got a kid on the way,
and he has a
Support
kid on the
child.
way. Yep, and he's gonna go to the concert near
that was paid for already. Yes.
No judgment, man. I think that's awesome. Okay, guys. Quick little announcement. We're open to the public Saturday, June 3rd. Completely open. The next 2 nights, it's soft opens, but that's RSVP and invites only. But thank you, everyone, for supporting us. We're finally open. It's been a long road, and definitely come on down, okay? So if you're not familiar with what we do here, forget the podcast for a second. There's still a bar restaurant right behind me. Wicked food, and you can check out the menu at www.kaksbarpodcast.com. And we're on all these socials right here, Spotify, Apple, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, all with the same handle at Kaks Bar Podcast. All right, everyone have a good day. Take care. Bye.
Peace. It's pretty easy.